Hey, this is Josh Ingalls with Lifetime Exteriors, and we're going to be doing a 5-part series on the 5 reasons you should not hire Lifetime Exteriors for a full roof replacement. Reason number 1 is you have a water stain in your ceiling and you don't know why. The first thing you need to find out is if that water stain is active or if it's old. I don't know about you, but every day I don't just look up at my ceiling. So many times people are surprised to see a water stain simply because they didn't notice it before. So what you're going to want to do is use a moisture meter and touch that stain to see if it's active or not active. For example, our bodies are made primarily out of water, so you can see my moisture meter is going off here. When I touch the drywall, I'm not getting any reading whatsoever. So you need to find out, is that water stain active or is it old? Sometimes even the previous owner might have painted over an old water stain, and that water stain just shows up again because they didn't cut that area of drywall out and the stain reappears, but it doesn't mean that there's a roof leak there. Another common thing that we see is not a roof leak, but actually maybe there's a bathroom above that is leaking. Some people have dual heating and cooling systems, so the furnace above might be leaking, or perhaps people sometimes even have a sprinkler system, and we've seen where those leak in the attic, and that looks like a roof leak, but it's not a roof leak. Another common thing that we see that looks like a roof leak is when the soil stack fails somewhere in the attic. So soil stacks are what vent the sewer gas for your home, and they let that gas escape through the roof. The problem is a lot of these soil stacks on older homes are made from cast iron, and cast iron rusts out. So when it rains and the rain goes in the soil stack, it goes through the areas that have rusted through, and now it looks like you have a roof leak, but it's actually a soil stack leak. On newer homes, they use PVC, but PVC is put together with primer and glue, and that glue can fail. And again, it looks like a roof leak, but it's actually the water just getting through a joint of the PVC. Another common thing that causes water staining in your ceiling, and is in fact one of the most common roof leaks, is the soil stack flashing. So we talked about how the soil stacks can actually break apart inside your attic, but there's also a flashing that goes up on the roof. And this right here is probably the most common soil stack flashing that we see installed in our area. And the problem is with this product, it only comes with a 1-year warranty, and you can see how flimsy this thing is. It's very prone to ripping, so when the sun beats down on it, this becomes very brittle, and it can tear here, tear there. Another common thing that happens is the bottom of this will bend like so, and a wind-driven rain, water will just pour into the roof. So we're commonly installing either a lead pipe boot, it's going to last longer than the roof itself, or we're using this ultimate pipe boot. Now this comes with a warranty for the life of the roof. So if you're installing a 30 or 50-year roof, you want to make sure that your pipe flashings are all protected. Now the reason why most roofers aren't using this product here is simply because of the cost. This is in fact about 10 to 20 times the cost of this flashing here. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 soil stack flashings, and that adds up. So sometimes when you're getting a price that's too good to be true, it's probably because it's too good to be true. But the good news is you can replace these with this without having to replace your whole roof. So now you've learned reason number 1 not to hire Lifetime Exteriors for a full roof replacement. Make sure you check out our next video for reason number 2. I'll see you there.